Yeah. Hear us?
Hi, can you hear us?
Morning, everybody.
Can you hear us, Robert?
I can hear you.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. We had a little technical difficulties real quick. All right, well, you are up. We'd like any information and updates that you and Dr. Hanlon have on zoo operations.
Great, thank you. We do have a quick presentation. Is it possible for me, when I click on share screen, it says you cannot start screen sharing while the other participant is sharing?
You can
Awesome.
now share your screen.
Thank you so much. Let me get queued up here. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Great. All right, with that, Robbie, I'll let you take it away.
Sounds good. So I wanted to share some updates on 2023 and how we wrapped up the year. We finished with a little more than 1.2 million visitors in 2023. It gets us pretty close to our pre-pandemic average. So we lived between 1.3 and 1.4 million pre-pandemic. You might remember that we dropped down to less than 600,000 in 2020. So we've been steadily building back from there. And 2023 totally felt like our first full back to normal year here at the zoo, which was a really great thing for our guests, great thing for our employees, and some normalcy coming back to what we do on a daily basis. We finished the year with a little less than 43,000 member households. That's also getting back to our pre-pandemic average, which was between 48 and 50,000. So still working our way back up to that point. But we're proud of the fact that we're still able to drive 168 million in economic impact. And that's derived from spending by the zoo, spending by our guests and our employees throughout the region. So 168 million, that's a massive impact. And we're projected to be closer to 180 million in 2024, which is really great. And we're really proud of the fact that we see guests from every county in the state of Michigan and every state in the United States every single year, which is pretty cool. In 2023, we wrapped up the year with 50 million in total revenue. That's our best year in zoo history from an operating perspective. So firing on all cylinders. Earned revenue contributed more than half of our budget. So that's made up of admissions and membership sales, parking, and events and things of that nature. The Tri-County millage, which we are so grateful for, makes up almost a third of our budget. And you can see the splits there between Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties. Giving makes up 15% of our budget. So we're very reliant on our development team and our very loyal donors throughout the community. And then other revenue, which is primarily investment income and things of that nature, make up 4% of our revenue. On the expense side, we spent 51 million is what it took to operate the zoo this year. We're really proud of the fact that 80% of our budget is spent on what we call mission-related activities. So animal care, guest experience, the wonderful educational programming that our education team puts on, and making sure that our facilities are top-notch and safe for our animals and our guests. We spend 4% on marketing, 4% on fundraising, and then 12% on administration. But that includes all of our IT and cybersecurity costs as well, which, as I'm sure you're all aware, is a rising cost for us given the world we live in today. For 2024 through April, operating revenues are almost 13 million. We've had a really strong start, excuse me, to 2024. Weather's been fantastic throughout the spring. It's been warm, it's been dry. It's almost been a little too warm here in June, so we're actually seeing attendance take a little bit of a dip here in June with the 90-degree heat we've had all week. But leading, through April and certainly through May, revenues have been strong. Expenses have been kept in line with what we projected, given that this is really back to full operation post-pandemic. Attendance is in great shape, and membership is tracking. So still tracking around 43,000 memberships is what we're tracking for this year. But we had a really nice pickup at the end of May and early June in membership with the brand reveal, which Amanda's going to talk a little bit about later, and with Dinosauria being back. I actually wore my Dinosauria polo today. So Dinosauria is here. We put that on every 3 years or so. I think this is the 6th or 7th time we've done it, and it still is a massive hit with the community. So we're grateful for the community's support of that event and coming out to see us there. And with that, I'll pass it over to Amanda to talk about some of the other things going on at the zoo.
Sure. Thank you, Robbie. So as we indicated toward the end of last year, the DZS worked very diligently to create a strategic plan to guide the organization through 2024 through 2027. That shook out 4 key commitments that we really wanted to frame all of our major goals and objectives around during that time, which are people, animals, environment, and resources. This is exciting for us because this is the first truly unified strategic plan that the DZS has, and every person at the DZS has participated in this process as far as being able to provide input. And now we're at the stage where we're actually operationalizing the plan through all of our departments and using it as our true North Star for where we're guiding all of our activity. There's a QR code here on the screen that you could scan to get to the online version of the strategic plan. We also have a beautiful print version that we just received, and I'll make sure that you all have copies of that too. A lot of our major community activities have just continued and also increased in the last year and in the current year. Dream Night provides a night to remember for children with chronic or terminal illnesses and their families. This is a private evening at the zoo that has a pre-registration so that we can limit the number of people at the zoo and really create a calm and focused experience. We just had one of these nights a couple weeks ago, and we just had, the kind of feedback we received from the community is like brings tears to your eyes. We just had such a positive response to it, and it was a terrific event. Our senior days, of course, we do 2 Tri-County senior days a year. We just had one in June. We have another one coming up in September. That has us inviting seniors 62 and older for a free day at the zoo. Everyone who's invited can also bring one companion in with them for free. We do a lot of special activities. The bingo tent is usually the biggest hit of the day. We do a lot of tram rides, some refreshments and other things. Sensory friendly evenings. These are evenings throughout the year where we create a kind of a dialed down, more relaxed environment for individuals who have special sensory needs or challenges. So we provide culture kit bags that have like comfort items and noise canceling headphones and other things in them. We kind of dial down the volume on, activations that have sound, just kind of slow everything down a little bit, so that everyone can just, enjoy the zoo in a little bit, in a way that's not overwhelming. And then finally, Tri-County Green Schools, we were thrilled this year to be able to host schools from Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties. We had over 1,000 students. This event was a recognition of all of their work in the green clubs at their schools. So all year they worked on different initiatives that the students identified ways that they could make their schools greener. And as a reward for all their work and all their effort, they came out to the zoo for a day of fun and a day of recognition. So that was also a K-12 experience, which it was just a blast. We had a huge tent. There was a DJ. Taylor Swift was on. They were just going nuts, and they just had a terrific day. And we actually are looking forward and working with the counties to be the host for this event every year for the foreseeable future. We wanted to give a quick update on our education activities as well. Last year, we engaged over 23,000 students, families, and teachers in our educational programs on the main zoo campus. So this is Day at the Zoo, district partnerships, cultural passport program. I have continued on with our conservation student internships, which are 4-year paid internships for students from 9th through 12th grade. This program was actually just developed last year, so now we're in its 2nd year. It's super exciting because we're able to really now start developing these cohorts of students that are moving through the program at their 4 years all together. And it's providing a lot of exposure for STEM pathways, all different aspects of, zoo engagement and operations. They get a lot of exposure to different functions so that they can learn a lot about, just aside from conservation careers, they're really learning kind of professional experience, how to have a job, how to carry yourself in a professional environment. We do have some high school internships right now with Crystal Ray as well. The education team also continues to do our Nocturnal Adventures program, which is the partnership that we run with various shelters throughout all 3 counties. This evening offers a night of respite for those families who are experiencing homelessness or who have had some kind of difficult or traumatic transition. We do similar to some of the other events like Dream Night and Sensory Evenings. We do this privately, and we manage the capacity of the zoo so that it's very private. And it's a very safe and calm environment for everyone to come in. We also welcome all the staff of those shelters during those evenings because we know that, their jobs are often very stressful, and they and their families need a night of respite too. Some of the developments at Belle Isle Nature Center. Belle Isle Nature Center has just been booming. So ever since the center was remodeled in August of 2022, we've just seen a steady uptick in visitation there. And, as everything at the Belle Isle Nature Center is free. So there's no charge for admission. There's no charge for any of the programming there. In 2023, we had over 100,000 visitors. And the Nature Tots program alone, which is programming really for some of the littles, around 2 to 4 years old, we had more than 7,000 toddlers and caregivers in that program. And then we had more than 2,000 participants in other special events. There are a lot of nature hikes, astronomy evenings, mud puppy palooza, all kinds of special programming, on Belle Isle that's really working hard to make sure we're connecting everybody to nature in a very hands-on way. And then educationally at the Bink as well, we had over 6,000 students and teachers at the center. One program that the staff is incredibly proud of is launching the Big Belle Isle lesson with students who are deaf and hard of hearing from DPS-CD. Those students typically had gone on field trips where they might go for, a half day or a couple hours to visit a site, and they're coming to the bank for an entire week of programming and really getting to dig in, have a lot of great customized experiences with nature, and it's been a huge hit. We also have some great career pathway programs at the bank. Our environmental stewardship interns, we have actually seen over 100 Detroit students go through that program so far. We have partnerships with Michigan DNR, the US Forest Service, the Coast Guard, so that those students are really getting, firsthand exposure to those careers. And they're also making a lot of really great networking connections so that upon graduation, they have, some friends out in the field already. And then we've continued our community partnerships with Downtown Boxing Gym, and we have had over 600 experiences with preschool and elementary school children in Brilliant Detroit, which is a program that we work on in partnership also with the DIA, delivering programming in a home setting for students that kind of go to different home settings throughout the area and throughout the summer. We always want to make sure that we're updating you on our animal arrivals. We have had a ton of activity. It's been super exciting with rescue, births and hatches, arrivals. To highlight just a couple of those that have kind of made the headlines lately. We did receive an entire gorilla troop that is a breeding family. This is the first time that the Detroit Zoo has ever had a breeding family of gorillas. And so we're very excited and hopeful that this will eventually bring baby gorillas. We also had our baby giraffe, was born just about a year ago over Memorial Day in 2023. He had a difficult start, but is thriving now and is just doing incredible. And we're really excited to look ahead as we start to develop the zoo's next campus plan that's going to guide us through the next 10 years. We'll be giving a lot of consideration to the types of animal transfers that we may be able to make and habitat development and everything else. So it'll be an exciting time. We always want to make sure we're leaving you with some of our upcoming events. Sunset at the Zoo is tonight. I hope that we'll see you. And we are very grateful to you accommodating our Zoom attendance for that reason. It's a wild day, wilder than usual here at the zoo today. We've got a lot going on this summer, summer yoga, our members only evenings, wild summer nights where we bring in some local musicians and kind of have like a picnic atmosphere during some of our summer nights. And then of course we have our beloved 21 plus beer events coming up, summer sips, spooky spirits, polar bears. We've got our bike safari, Run Wild is coming up also in September. So we've got information about all of these events on the Detroit Zoo website. Also excited to note that we have a new mobile app available. If you go to the App Store or Google Play and just look up Detroit Zoo, you'll be able to download it. It's just been fantastic. We've had over 10,000 downloads since the app launched in the beginning of May. It offers wayfinding. You can plan your day by looking at the animal feeding schedules and other engagement activities. You can look at events. And then we have a lot of, if you click on an animal habitat, you'll get kind of a summary and synopsis about the animals that live there. So it's been great.
Amanda, I got to step in. At some point, we're going to rotate who does what slides, and you're going to give the finance,
Yeah, right.
and I'm going to give the fun ones, okay?
I get all the fun. I know, it's true. So, and I'm sure Robbie can chime in on this too. This was a big one. I'm sure, you've seen and heard the Detroit Zoological Society has had a whole brand refresh. So this included completely redoing the water tower. That was a hot topic for about a year. Plus, ever since I started here, we're receiving inquiries every day. What's going to be on the water tower? What's the water tower? So the final panel of the wrap was actually just installed about 10 days ago. It was just incredible to watch it unfolding. It's been very positively received so far. We also did a total refresh on logos, colors. We have new signage all over the zoo. We have new photo opportunities at the front of the zoo. We have, you'll see the staff in new uniforms and new badges. It was a really end-to-end refresh. And if you don't mind, we will just show a really quick video that we produced to kind of reveal and celebrate this. And then we'll be happy to take questions.
The Detroit Zoological Society has been creating meaningful connections between people, animals, and the natural world for more than a century. From providing engaging experiences that educate and inspire the people of our communities, to putting the care and conservation of animals at the heart of everything we do.
That. Uh-oh, is it stopped for you all too?
Yes.
It's stuck here on my end too.
Okay, help
It's trying to catch up.
natural world
Ah,
through our sustainability initiatives. Today marks a pivotal moment, the unveiling of a new brand identity that celebrates our mission. The Detroit Zoo's new logo features a powerful storytelling design. The O's in Zoo unite, inviting you to an extraordinary world where all can thrive. The Belle Isle Nature Center's logo brings together two leaf-inspired shapes that symbolize a connection between people and urban wildlife. Our new tagline, "Where Life Connects," expresses how the zoo and nature center bring us all together to ignite positive change at home and
apologies, I moved.
thank you for your incredible support. And we'll see you soon at the Detroit Zoo and the Belle Isle Nature Center.
Apologies for that. Looks like my internet connection went a little unstable. So with that, we'd love to open it up for any questions that you may have.
Thank you all so much for that presentation, and maybe we can get a copy of that sent to us as well. That would be
Sure.
wonderful. Are there any questions from the committee? Mr. Morrow?
Yes, thank you very much for coming and the presentation. First of all, I love the branding. It's awesome. I attended the water tower unveiling, which was very good. And I think, well, first of all, the presentation, you know, with all the weather that's going on, don't worry about it. We'll view it. You and Haley and the rest of the team have done an outstanding job, and please continue to do that. I look forward to seeing you guys at the Sunset tonight. For my colleagues here at the table, my firm sponsors the auction.
Oh, nice.
So
Congratulations.
please come by. It's a wonderful event. It's great. I didn't get a chance to do everything last year. We're gonna have great weather this year. Last year it rained a little bit, but everybody still had fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
we did.
awesome. So I look forward to seeing you guys there tonight.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you too.
Yeah, thanks for your support, Mario. We're grateful for everything you do for the zoo.
Yes.
problem.
Absolutely. And when we scheduled this meeting today, I didn't look at this calendar to know that it was sunset night as well. Or I wouldn't have scheduled you guys. I know you're so busy
Oh,
today.
you're just fine.
But thank you
Oh,
for
no.
accommodating us. We appreciate it. The zoo is doing wonderful things, and I really am impressed by the educational aspect and what you're doing with the education for our young people throughout the Tri-County area at the Belle Isle Nature, as well as the main campus. So thank you for your support of our young people and what you continue to do in that space. Are there any questions from any of the committee members? And if you again could please send us a copy of your slide presentation, that would be helpful. We
Absolutely.
need to continue to advocate for the zoo and make sure that our citizens know that they're paying the millage, that they need to go and participate and visit and see all the wonderful things that are going on there. Since I still have people under 18 in my house, we visit at least a few times a year. So, and my daughter just asked the other day, when are we going back to the zoo? So I'll be there tonight, and then I'll have my family there in the very near future.
Wonderful.
Thank you all for what you've done. We look forward to seeing you tonight.
Thank you all so much. We are grateful for your support always, and we'll look forward to seeing you later.
Okay.
Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was good. I'm glad that there approaching the pre-pandemic numbers with 1.2 million visitors last year. That's amazing.
Huge.
And then all of the different ancillary projects that they have between different runs and walks and all they're very busy, but it's good that they're a total asset to our community. So we're grateful to have them here. Any final conversation or discussion on the zoo operations? Okay. Next item.
Item 2, election of officers, chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary.
All right. Is there any nominations for
Oh, we
officers?
just did this.
It's like every year. It is. It's every year. We need to look and see if we can change that in the bylaws.
Oh, has it been a year?
It's every year, which is, and it comes up quick.
I'd like to nominate Alicia Bell as chairperson.
Support.
Oh,
Double support.
oh my. Okay, well, thank you so much. I'll accept. And if we don't mind, if we can do it, all of them together. Any nominees for vice president, vice
Did you
chair?
wanna alternate?
Who's her? I know.
I'm the vice chair, and I thought you were the secretary.
Secretary. Commissioner Reck is the secretary, and Mr. Merrill is the vice president.
Yeah, I'll continue with that.
Commissioner Recky.
Terry is secretary and Mario is the vice chair as of now. Wanna
I would move that we nominate Alicia Bell for chair, Mario Mull for vice chair, and Terry Moretti for secretary.
All
Support.
right. All right. It's been moved and supported. I know.
Right.
I know.
If it
We've
was
been
just
wearing you
easy
out.
on a
We've been wearing you
federal
out. All right, very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, congratulations, everyone, for another year. And we will see if we can move that to every 2 years because every year comes up quick. All right, congratulations. We'll keep moving in with our once a year meeting. So next item.
Item number 3, approval of the 2023 audit and invoice from Allen C. Young and Associates.
I don't have that.
Just-
I don't have the invoice.
Oh, I don't,
What I'm
I
looking
don't, I didn't see
for.
that either.
Do we have the invoice? That's fine. Yes, thank you. I didn't print it. Well, as we're looking for that, audit, is this, come on up to the table? Any, right there, that's great. Thank you. Welcome. Introduce yourself, please. Oh. Yep, there you go.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Dear Board. My name is Jan Kutsenkov. I'm a Senior Audit Manager at Allen C. Young. I don't know if I'm too close or too far.
You're fine. You're good.
And I will second the thoughts of Robert that following Amanda's presentation is going to be hard to beat.
Not exciting, but that's okay. Equally important.
And without trying to bother you too much, I'll just go through my presentation. There is on page 2 is what I'm planning to discuss. At any point, if you feel to need to ask me a question, feel free. We'll get off with some required communications, and then I'm going to go through the numbers, which are not that much. First off, I want to reiterate what an audit is and what whose responsibilities is what. Management's responsibility is to prepare the financial statements. Our responsibility is to issue an opinion on those statements based on our audit. And so we have issued a modified opinion, meaning that we believe that financial statements are free of material misstatements. This is the clear opinion. On the next page, I would like to just point out the third bullet, which is that an audit is the object of an audit is to obtain a reasonable assurance, not absolute assurance that the financial statements are free of material misstatement. In this case, it's kind of so meaning that we're not looking at 100% of things.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you have a couple of items here, so it's almost like looking at everything, but the reality is just a disclosure. On the next page, we have achieved the scope of our audit as set aside in, set ahead in our engagement letter. We have had complete cooperation from the management. The significant accounting policies are listed in footnote number 2 of the financial statements, and they're consistently applied over each fiscal year. The quality of the policies, they're consistent and neutral. We have had no disagreement with management, and to the best of our knowledge, management has not consulted another CPA firm. Next, I'm gonna go over the financial results. Statement of net position on page 7. As you see, there is no assets and no liability because due to the nature of how the authority operates. All the funds that are collected from the tax millage are being transferred to the Detroit Zoological Institute. Hence, at year end, there is no assets liabilities. As a result, no net position. On the next page, we have the statement of activities. The property taxes collected were approximately $4.75 million, and so were the expenses. 4.758 million was transferred to the Zoological Society, and the approximately $7,000 was the professional fees. And as I said, it's a pretty small financial, so that's about all the numbers that we have for you today.
Well, it's pretty easy peasy. We collect the property taxes and we give them to the zoo.
Yes,
And we take out, of course, the auditing or whether professional fees are, and our only professional fees are those of the audit company. So,
correct.
okay,
Madam Chair,
sure.
how long does it take to transfer the funds over? I mean, do we sit on it for 30 days, 60 days, or what's the period of transfer?
I think it's pretty straightforward, but I'm not quite sure from top of my head.
And we can find that out.
Yes.
Because when we collect the fees, well, the property taxes, and then how we give it over to the treasurer collects it and they give it over to the zoo. So it's pretty quickly, but I could get an exact like timeline if you like.
Yeah, I would. I'd
Yeah.
like to see that.
Okay.
I mean, just to be knowledgeable.
Yeah. And that, we get that from the treasurer's office, Tavia, okay? So we'll get that from you and then we'll email that out to everybody.
And obviously the money are being collected over time, so
Right.
they do not get transferred over time, they get transferred towards the end of the year.
And if I may,
Mhm.
Madam Chair, Alan Young, this is his first year doing the audit. I remember when I first became a member, we had another firm.
Mm-hmm.
And
We've been
so
switching
are we
them.
switching with the standard every 3 years? Or are
About
we
3 years,
About
yeah,
3 years?
yeah.
And that's the industry standard every 3 years, changing.
There isn't a
It,
set industry standard.
about 8 years, I think is industry standards, but we've been doing it like every 3.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. 8 is kind of the number I remember
Yeah.
hearing, yeah. But we've been, I mean, there are a lot of firms, but not a lot of firms. So we've been kind of recycling, 1, 2,
Right,
3, they go another
exactly.
one, 1, 2, 3, they go,
Exactly.
and they come back over here and do it. Yeah.
Right.
So this is Alan Young's first or second year
Second.
in this go around.
Okay.
So,
Back,
mhm,
the county, we have a ballot proposal
mm,
in August. Is the charter says we have to do it every 8 years, we have to change
auditing.
auditing firms, and
Mhm.
there's just
Not enough.
So we're trying to get that changed on the ballot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
It
okay.
used to be the big, 7, big 8, all,
Yeah.
and
the
now
big-
it's like
The big
2.
8.
Now it's the big 2, that
Yeah.
who can handle, the size of the county in general,
Right,
Ernst & Young and maybe one other.
Yeah.
Raymond, Plant Moran, yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Well,
so-
I appreciate the fact that like Alan Young is minority owned company.
Mhm.
And I think the previous auditor was as well.
Yes,
So I think that is a good move on behalf of the county to make that happen.
absolutely.
Now,
So,
you get your financial statements from each of the county's CFOs, and you see the actual documents?
Yes. So we obtained from Treasury what the taxes were collected and trace them down to the payment to the society.
All of us are on these boards are very nervous.
No, I didn't want to mention that, but.
Down the street, right?
Right.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that if there's a list of things that nonprofits are supposed to do.
Mm,
And government.
10 things on that list.
Yep.
That as a oversight authority, we
Mhm.
have to be in compliance with nonprofit excellence.
right.
Are we doing all 10 of those things?
Mhm,
The
mhm.
thing I've heard from the river folks was that they weren't seeing the actual statement.
Right,
Right.
right, right,
They
right,
were
right.
relying on CFOs.
The temptation of
the
it.
statements.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Which is kind of a normal thing to do.
It would be a normal thing, yeah, except for 12 years, the guy was.
Yep.
Forging the
Playing
statements.
around, so how do we make sure
That we're, yeah,
we're not making the same mistakes they made and not getting too comfy?
mhm, mhm,
Because we
mhm.
have tremendous confidence in Alan Young.
Mhm.
He's a fantastic person.
Mhm.
His firm is first rate, right?
Right,
But
absolutely.
where is
Thank
he
you.
getting his information? He's
Right.
relying on. So if you're telling me you're
Wayne County
seeing the
Treasurer is, yes.
actual documents.
Yeah,
Not just the CFO of the county's
right.
assessment of what the documents
Mhm.
are, summary of what the documents are. I feel a lot better about that.
So,
All 44, just listen to the CFO, who said everything was fine, and the auditor said, I just do what the CFO tells me.
right, right,
And
right.
there was the hole.
Yeah.
So, Madam Chair, that raises
Yes.
another question I have, for a meeting that wasn't supposed to be that long, but we're in dialogue now.
Yeah.
So how often do we have a forensic audit?
We've never had a forensic audit for this Zoological Authority. And again, the good thing about this particular group is that we're just looking at what was collected from the property taxes
Right.
and getting the percent that the millage says, and then giving that percent
It's
over
the easy,
to the.
yeah.
Now, the big board, I call it the big board, that might be a good question for them because they're taking on the monies from Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb, plus all of their proceeds, plus, so that would be a good question for the big board because they're handling all the money. We're pretty much just a transfer, but to that point, we still should maybe have at one meeting, the treasurer come in just to talk about what they do and how they're transferring that, getting the money and
That's a
how they're
great
getting the money.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a
Cause that's where what's going on here at the authority level. The treasurer is the one who's transferring the money over to the big board. So we can have that for our next meeting, have the treasurer or his designee who's in charge of those millage dollars, cause they do the same thing for the DIA as well. So
Bree come in.
have, and I'm sure he'll be like to his staff, what do you do? So, but you're right. So,
Right, he can bring
so
them
we'll
with
make
him.
sure- the designee, so.
Somebody's reading this stuff, right?
Right, right. So let's have the treasurer come in that next meeting. Let's talk about the transfer of the assets. And then I don't know if we want to get into the weeds of our assessor as well, because our assessor is the one who, decides on what the number, all the properties are assessed at to get to the dollars collected. So it's a little chain there.
Mission.
Mhm. Cause we approved that in, what month is that? In April.
Yeah.
And if you look here on page 8, you see that our property tax revenue has increased because property values are increased. So property values are increasing, therefore, our taxes and the revenue from those are
That
increasing.
increase is probably from my property too.
That's all you. That's
That
all you.
increase right there.
That's your, all of that,
Yeah, all
right?
of that.
So,
Madam
yes.
Chair, can I just add a little bit
Sure.
more to that question? So that's why it was important to explain what an audit, the scope of an audit is in the beginning. But we do provide additional services, attestation services like, either forensic audits or any particular attestation procedures that you would like us to perform in addition to the audit. So those are things that we can provide as a full service CPA
I
firm.
think Alan will be very proud of you for mentioning that.
Very good. Good job. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Markey?
Is an unmodified opinion like a clean opinion?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so how come they don't call it a clean opinion anymore?
We never.
Oh, you never did?
Clean opinion is more of a, jargon term. It
Layman's
used
term.
to be,
Uh-huh.
wow, it's been some time, but it was, before unmodified, used to be,
That's okay.
I'm getting old, eh? But we got a slightly different term for it.
Okay,
Probably about a decade ago, it got changed to unmodified.
okay.
And if it's not clean, then it's gonna be either modified or adverse.
Adverse.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so item number 3 is approval of the audit and the invoice. The invoice is $7,400. So is there a motion to accept the audit? Okay, it's been moved and is supported to approve the audit as presented to us and the invoice for Allen Young of $7,400. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right.
And I
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
as well for the opportunity to serve as auditors.
Thank you so much. Tell Alan we said hello. Thank you so
Will
much.
do. Thank you.
All right, next item.
Item number 4, approval of the resolution for levy and collection of the millage in the 2024 tax rate request form.
Okay, so you have that. don't
I do
you?
have.
So Octavia has that. And this is for the collection of the 2024 tax rate. There's a request form that we get that we have to fill out and get it from the state. We fill it out, send it to the treasurer's office. So I think a couple people have to sign it, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the resolution? Okay, it's been moved and supported to approve the resolution for the collection of the 2024 millage. Any discussion on that item? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, and we'll get that at the end of the meeting. And then such other matters, I'm sorry, I'm doing your job.
Item E, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
There are none. Public comments? Do we
Madam
have any?
Chair? I'm sorry,
Yes.
Madam Chair, this is
Hi,
Pam. I
Pam.
think that, I think that invoice amount is actually $69.50.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yes.
wait, I can say, okay, 69.50.
That may be the arts invoice amount. I think the
Oh,
She's correct.
okay. We're going to go back to item number 3. That was the approval of the invoice piece. So the incorrect amount was given. So the correct number is 6,950 for the invoice for the Allen Young and Associates for the auditing firm. Do I need to have another motion to that? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Move approval of approving the 6,950 for Allen Young for the auditing company. Is there support? Moved and supported. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Ayes have it. Thank you, Pam, for that correction. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any public comments? Anyone on the line? Any emails?
No, ma'am.
No,
No one
all
on the
right.
line.
Public comments. There are none. All right. So we need to have another meeting this year.
Yes.
So we'll send out
Absolutely.
some dates. Pam, when should we have that meeting by the end of the year or by the end of the fiscal
Yes.
year?
Yes, if there needs to be one, I'll let you guys know, and we usually do, we've done that in December in the past.
Okay, great. And then as was stated earlier, we'll get the treasurer in just to inform us and educate us more on the transfer of the funds. So we'll ask him to come to that meeting as well. Okay, so we're looking at November, December. Okay, any other issues or items to discuss for the body? None? Entertain a motion to adjourn? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. Everything's good? That's all.
Thanks for you. Okay.
Out here, going to Sunset.
Stop by, I've got a tent,
You do?
so stop by.
Where's your tent?
I
You don't know.
don't know.
I'll find them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it.
I didn't make it, last year.
Oh, it was fine. It rained a little bit, but we had a great time. Are you coming tonight?
I was supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, and this other thing came up that I got.